When you paint portraits, does the nose always come out looking funny or just not right or correct? Well, fix that by watching this video. Hi, welcome to Paint Coach. I'm Chris Fornatero, here to help simplify oil painting so you can get better faster. Hello to everyone out there in quarantine, which is pretty much everybody in the entire world. I hope you're handling it all right. Hope this gives you more time to paint. I've definitely found more time to paint and make videos, but I need your help. I need you to tell me what you're struggling with. What would you like to see videos on? So how about this? In the comment section, write the thing that you find most difficult about oil painting. What do you struggle with? What are you afraid of? What do you seem to not ever be able to get right? Let me know in the comment section. And as always, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button right now. Don't wait till the end of the video. Don't wait to see if you actually like it. Just hit the like button now. Don't think about it, just hit it. So in the past, I've made videos on how to paint lips, how to paint eyes, and I got a couple requests for how to paint a nose, so here you go. So the first question you have to ask when painting a nose is, where do I put the nose? If you don't put the nose in the right place on the face, it doesn't matter how well you paint it, it's not gonna look right. For a long time, I had a problem of putting the nose too low on the face, and this made the space between the nose and the eyes too long. So in the end, I had these elongated faces with these really long noses. I ended up fixing this problem by learning how to correctly measure where to put the nose. If you've seen some of my portrait videos, you know that I like to measure out where the main features on the face are. I don't necessarily draw in a very detailed drawing before painting, but I like to get correct measurements of, say, where the eyes are, the nose, the mouth, and stuff like that. First, I find the measurement of where the eyes are on the face, and then I measure from the eyes to where the nostrils are. Now, why the nostrils and not the tip of the nose? I find it easier to define exactly where the nostrils are opposed to the tip of the nose, because a lot of times the tip or end of the nose isn't exactly defined. And we need this to be defined because we need a correct measurement, not only to get the nose right, but also we're gonna use this mark to measure out other distances, like say from the bottom of the nose to the top of the top lip. If I wanted to use the end of the nose as the measuring point, where exactly would that be? Would it be where the shadow ends? Would it be back here where the nose kind of tucks up back into the nostril? It's not like an exact defined, clear point. Also, finding this line where the nostrils fall on is going to be key to nailing the correct angle or tilt of the nose if there's a tilt. Because if the head is tilted, the nose is going to be tilted, so the nostrils are going to be tilted, which means one nostril is going to be higher than the other. So many times I've had artists ask me what is wrong with their portrait, and I see that the alignment of their nose is off and it's tilted wrong. Therefore, they built this whole portrait around a nose that was inaccurately drawn. So everything's off. And that's a hard thing to break to somebody. Yeah, your nose and the thing, it's just, you know, just start over. All right, now we're gonna talk about the structure of the nose. And I don't wanna get too deep into anatomy because that's more of a drawing concept, and I really wanna keep things painting centric here. But the truth is, knowing anatomy and knowing how to draw is just vital to creating a good portrait. So I have to get into it a little bit. It's very important to know the general structure of the nose, which is knowing the general planes of the nose. The nose consists of 4 major planes: the top bridge of the nose, the 2 sides of the nose, and the bottom of the nose. Now, although all noses are shaped differently, they all follow this basic structure. And understanding it will help you block it in and paint it correctly. Now, a helpful exercise that you can do to help understand the planes of the nose is take different pictures or paintings that you've done, put a piece of plastic over top of them, and draw in with marker where the planes of the nose would be. After you do this a few times with different shaped noses at different angles, I think you'll find yourself more comfortable with identifying the different planes of the nose. Now I want to discuss something before we jump into the painting aspect of it, and that is, don't ever just paint the nose by itself. You know, work your portrait as a whole. You shouldn't just work on the nose, finish painting the nose, then move on to the eyes, finish the eyes, move on to the mouth. I feel like if you do it that way, you're going to run into a lot more problems. You need to build the portrait as a whole because everything influences everything. And seeing how the other elements of the face are working while you're painting the nose is gonna help you build it in the correct way. When I first block in the nose, I have that general structure in mind. And the first thing I do is I get the correct angle of the nose. And I tend to want to find the correct angle of the bridge of the nose. I feel if I can get this right, the other angles of the nose will fall into place. If you don't get this angle right, if you make it too straight up and down or angled too much, it's just gonna throw everything else off. So do what you need to do to get this angle right. If you have to measure things out, measure things out. I've done this a lot so I can eyeball it, but for a long time I would measure things out. It also helps to stand back from your painting as much as possible while blocking it in. This way you can see how everything's working as a whole, and if something's not angled correctly, you'll be able to identify it quicker. When I start painting, I treat it like anything else, and I first define the lights and the shadows. And I'm still thinking about that general structure of the nose. Try not to get caught in painting lines. For example, a big mistake I see people make is that they want to define the bridge of the nose, and so they draw a big line where the bridge of the nose should be. And a lot of times, like in this example, the line between the nose and the part of the face behind it is very, very subtle. A lot of times you can even lose that line from the bridge of the nose to the face. So if that's the case, let it disappear. It's fine. Don't ever feel that you need to add lines, whether it's the bridge of the nose or the side of the nose, to identify the structure of the nose and make it clear. If you build the values correctly, it will all work itself out. Being able to show restraint in this way and just nail the values correctly is really going to push your work to the next level. That's always one of the main things that impresses me with certain portraiture, is the ability to, one, create line by putting just two different values next to each other, and also the ability to not be afraid to have line disappear and to have values so close together that they kind of mold or disappear as one. Don't neglect the space around the nose. A lot of times the space around the nose can help you redefine the shape of the nose, also dialing in the correct values. In this demonstration, the value of the nose was a lot darker than, say, the cheek to the left of it. So laying in the color, that light value of the cheek to the left of it early, allowed me to gauge the values as I worked. See, if I didn't paint that section to the left of the nose, I would have painted the nose without any comparison of value as I worked. So it would have been easy to paint the nose too light or too dark because I didn't have anything to compare it to. All right, next we're going to actually, hold on. Before we move on, I need some coffee. I'm going to die. Ugh. All right, now we can go on. All right, color. Now, noses tend to be more red than other sections of the face. Noses, cheeks, ears tend to have a little more red in them because the blood vessels are closer to the surface of the skin. Now, this necessarily isn't going to be true for everybody. Not everyone's nose is going to look like Santa Claus on a Coca-Cola commercial, but just keep an eye out for it. If you want some more information on painting skin tones, I have a video on painting skin tones right here. All right, when you're painting the nostrils, don't just paint a black oval and call it a day. You're painting a hole where the light disappears as you get further into it. So make sure that you understand and capture that loss of light as you're going up in there. A lot of people just put a black hole and they say that's it. And if you look closer, there's a lot more going on to that. The further you get out of the nostril, the lighter the skin around it's going to be. And you're going to really create this sense of space going up and in. And if you just paint like a flat black oval, it's just not going to have any depth to it. When you're painting the highlights on the nose, you want them to be strong, defined, and accurate, but if you push them too far, you can cause the nose to look wet or oily. In this example, you can see that my highlights are strong, but I never go to pure white. So if your highlights aren't looking as bright as you think they should, the problem might be the skin around it, and you might need to darken the value of your nose so those highlights pop more. And take your time when you're placing the brightest highlight on the tip of the nose. Placing this in the wrong spot, even a little bit, can really shift the whole structure and look of the nose. So take your time and get it right. And if you make it too big, you can always cut back with it with the flesh tone around it. That's what I did in this demonstration. Noses do come in all different shapes and sizes, but most of the time they're relatively smooth. A lot of times with beginners, I see portraits where the nose is very angular and rigid. And these hard edges are created by two very contrasting values next to each other. If you got a really light color and a really dark color next to each other, it's gonna come together and seem like a sharp angle. And the way you fix this is you mix up a value that is between these two harsh values, so you split the difference and the transition is smoother. Try not to blend it. I really don't blend ever when I'm painting with oils. I should actually make a video about that. Hey Siri.
Hello there.
Make a note to make a video about not blending oil paint.
I don't think that's the best idea for a video.
So if you want to see the real-time video tutorial of painting the nose, I have that on my Patreon page, which you can find a link to that in the description below. I also have Amazon links to all the materials that I suggest for beginners in the description below. I'm Chris Fornatero here telling you to go get painting. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button. I also offer you this video and this video. They're both great. Just pick one. Come on.